felt like something was missing. Like I wanted to edit things. I wanted to put a story together. I felt like just something was missing.
I'm already brainstorming ideas. Maybe we should just start
Hmm.
making this right now. But obviously, you start with the play at the end of the game, right?
Specific year, the NFL really wanted to push iPhone content. And so anytime a touchdown, anytime a play, anything happened, I would always right away, it was on my phone right then and there.
Welcome to the Left Hash Call, and welcome to a new arm of the show, Beyond the Hashes. On the Left Hash Call, we've spent most of our time in the coaching world, talking ball, leadership, culture, development, and the ones who are on the headset. Beyond the Hashes takes that same conversation and pulls the curtain back a little bit further. This series is about the people behind the programs, the directors, the creatives, the administrators, the operations people, the ones who support the teams that you know and love, and the reality of day-to-day college athletics. It's still the Left Hash Call, except now we're going beyond the hashes. Today's guest on the Left Hash Call, Beyond the Hashes, is someone who has built a career at the intersection of creativity, storytelling, and high-level athletics. She is the director of creative content at Johns Hopkins University. She oversees men's and women's lacrosse as well as football. Along the way, she has worked as a freelance creative across college athletics, the NFL, national teams, and some of the biggest brands in lacrosse. From the Division III programs to the USA women's lacrosse team and the NFL, welcome to the show, the director of creative content at Johns Hopkins University, Grayson Jons. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you doing? Thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. It's funny because we kind of got introduced to each other because, I've always seen your guys' stuff that you do at Johns Hopkins. And I think there's a select group of Division III creatives out there that blow me away every time that I see this stuff. And Trinity was one of them down there in Texas. And then you guys
Hmm.
always stand out. So always been blown away by your stuff. Then we got to know you a little bit throughout the playoffs. And then we actually got to connect at the River Falls game. But just what you do at Johns Hopkins, it's top notch stuff on all levels, and I'm just so grateful that you're able to come on and talk a little shop with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was a great run. Unfortunate result, but it's good to connect and happy to be here.
Yeah, I want to kind of walk through your journey a little bit because it's
Mhm.
it's one that is definitely not an easy road in the world of video and creative work because you kind of got to start at the low end of the totem pole and work your way up. But I want to hear how you first started getting into the creative side of things. Was it in high school? Did you kind of get into it later? Just tell me about how you really got started in it all.
Yeah, I think it goes way back to when I was getting recruited to play soccer in college, and I had to make the highlight tapes. And I was, of course, doing that for myself. My mom was filming on the sidelines, and I would kind of, after games, like chop up the tape and kind of put together highlight reels for myself to send to college coaches to try and get recruited. And after I did commit to McDaniel College, it was February of my junior year. I felt like something was missing. Like I wanted to edit things. I wanted to put a story together. I felt like just something was missing. And my dad just happened to have a camera. It wasn't the best, but it did the job. But I asked him to borrow it one day, and I went to a lacrosse game. I've always thought lacrosse was a really cool sport. I never played it myself. I wish I did. I feel like I'd be pretty good at it. But I went to one of my high school lacrosse games, and I actually filmed the game from the press box. So I didn't want anyone to know I was down there. Yeah, super weird. It was like an embarrassment thing. I don't know. It's just like me being a high schooler. I like didn't want people to know. Um, but put together like YouTube video. I actually think it's still up on YouTube somewhere. And everyone loved it. And like I loved it. I love like just the creating, like telling a story of the game. I thought it was so much fun. And I felt fulfilled doing it. And all of a sudden, like I just was like, maybe like this could could be something here. And then into my senior year of high school, I was just at every single game, volleyball, football, any sport that I could make. I mean, I was still playing soccer at the time, but any extra sport that I could be at, I was there, and I also had my camera. And I think it's something that my high school kind of rallied around also. Everyone just kind of loved the hype videos, just loved everything about it. And I think that's kind of when I was like, maybe this could be a career here for me. And then COVID hit, and all of a sudden I was like, damn, like I don't have soccer anymore. I don't know what I'm gonna do to fill this time. I my whole identity was soccer and filming sports. And as much as COVID sucked, I think that it also allowed me to like really focus in on this videography and telling stories and that kind of aspect of myself that if COVID didn't hit, I probably would have fallen off it a little bit when I got to college. But you know, when COVID did hit, I was able to really focus in on it and learn a lot about myself and um, about the whole creative process. And that's kind of when the paid gigs started coming in, and everyone wanted, you know, highlight reels, everyone, different brands, different companies, you know, needed things to send out on social media to clients and whatever. And that's kind of when everything took off for me. So yeah, that's the beginning, and from there it kind of just took off, and yeah.
It's funny, I do this show about coaching, and we
Mhm.
talk to coaches, and I was a coach for 2 years. I played football basically, gosh, since I was in fifth grade or whatever it was. And it's funny, I resonate more with the things that you're saying right now, with how you get started in the whole thing, than I do with coaches, because I coached for 2 years, yes, but the creative side of things, I'm like, yep, I did. Yep, that's how you get going. That's how you start. And it's so funny. Like, that's exactly how I got into it too, was doing like stuff for myself to get recruited,
Mhm.
putting over music or whatever, and telling the story a little bit of your own self of,
Right,
I just remember that, like, when I first got going in that creative process, I'm like, man, I can kind of dictate where this story goes, and I can tell somebody how to feel about something, even
right.
though, I'm not the, like, I've made I it's funny, you've probably done the same thing, but I can make a game look like we won by 50, even
Yeah,
though, like, we lost by 50. And I
yeah,
think that's the
exactly.
cool thing about video is, and graphics, sure, as well, photography, but um it's a funny deal within that side of it. Early on, did you see yourself as a storyteller? Was that something that you even thought about? I certainly didn't. Or were you more like, I just like making fun videos? Or where did you kind of start to say, I am a storyteller versus I'm just a videographer?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I kind of categorized myself as just a videographer for years. I think it wasn't until I got my job at Hopkins now where I was like, oh, like I'm telling a story. It's more than just a video. It's telling the story of a program, a game, an individual. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't till probably, you know, 4 or 5 years ago that I was like, oh wait, this is storytelling. This isn't just you know, putting a video together anymore. It's more than that. So yeah.
Is there anything that stood out, or to you early, that, like, that first story that you told, or that first time you said, this isn't just going to be, a nice little highlight reel. There's a tangible story here that I want to tell. Does anything come to mind early on that you remember? This is a story right here.
Yeah, I think what jumps out right away is I was in college, it was my freshman year of college. And my high school at the time, the boys lacrosse team was going to states. And it was like May or June, somewhere in there. So I'd come home from college and, you know, just living at home. And I'd seen that the boys lacrosse team was going to states or about to go to states, and I went to their state semifinal game. So it was like I was coming back. I hadn't been back to the school for a while, for over a year at that point. And so I'd come back, and you know, everyone was super excited to see me. And you know, I filmed that state semifinal game. They won. And then the state final game was at Loyola and the big stadium there. And so I went, obviously. I think I actually took the bus with the team because the guys were just so excited to have me back, and I think that that was the first. story that I kind of put together. And I think actually that video is probably still on YouTube somewhere. But it pretty much showed the entire video pretty much showed like that state semifinal game and then the state final game and the celebration and all the fans. And I was like, this is, that's kind of the first like story I really put together. And that was a special one for sure.
When you look back at some of that older work, I'm curious at how you view it. I definitely look back a lot of my early work. I'm like, damn, what was I doing? Like, this is awesome. But at the time, like, I just remember being so juiced up about it. And I think, like anything, you evolve and you get better. But do you
Mhm.
kind of view it the same way, or what's kind of that early work? What do you remember about that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look back on it now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that people you see get like fired up about this. But then at the same time, you have to think social media and that whole landscape, it wasn't the same 5 years ago. So like back then, 5, 6 years ago when I was putting out that stuff, that was the stuff. Like that stuff was sick. Like the quality was great. And now, like obviously it's really tough to compare the two because it's like this like what you thought was so good back then, which it was. But now you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, look at how much I've grown. I would never do something like this again. But now you're growing with the times of social media, with the technology that's come. So I mean, I look back on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's so bad. But at the same time, it's like that was the stuff. Like that was awesome at the time. So it's just kind of growing and evolving with the changing landscape of it all.
I always like looking at it now, and I'm like, man, that LUT that I put on that video was so cool then, but now it looks, who did this? Who
Yeah,
did
now you're like, oh, brutal. Yeah, I
like
get that.
like a 2012 Instagram filter on this whole thing right here. And then I remember doing videos for client, like actual like paid clients, like my first time doing it. And I would do like my color process or whatever, and then they would get the video and throw a filter on top of it too. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks
You're like,
so
oh, yeah,
bad.
terrible.
It's not the same video that I just made. But talking about freelancing outside of sports, what was kind of the approach to, because obviously it's a rather expensive hobby at times. How did
Mhm.
you kind of go about those early years of freelancing, and how did you kind of make some money early on doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was back in high school, I didn't realize that this could be a career. And so a lot of the stuff I was doing, I was doing it for free and I was just doing it with the connections that I had. But I think that doing that free work and just building those connections, I think was huge in my development. Um, and I mean, I owe a lot to a lot of my first couple clients that actually paid me just because like I don't like they took a chance on me and I'm really appreciative of that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the work that I was doing when I first started out, like I wasn't really charging anything, and if I was charging, it definitely was not enough at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, just with those connections, I think that connections can get you a lot further than any equipment will. And I think that that's kind of something that I've kind of pushed myself for, just building those connections. And it doesn't, if at the end of the day, if you have a great connection, yeah, like the money is a piece now, obviously. Um, but back then it was just connections were so much more important to me than the money aspect.
Some of the organizations, I'll just list off some of them here. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Sticks or STX, but
Hmm.
EC Lacrosse, the Lacrosse Network, USA Lacrosse. How did you kind of, obviously you mentioned relationships. What was working with those organizations on, or working with those organizations early on like, and how did those kind of come about?
Yeah, I would give it all to those first couple clients that I had. I was working with somehow, some way, I got connected with this guy named Deemer Class, and he now runs one of the most sought after lacrosse camps called First Class Lacrosse. He does events all year round for committed players, for players that are trying to get recruited. I mean, you go to one of these events and there's hundreds of coaches on the sideline. Um, but during COVID, he once again somehow reached out to me, somehow found me, and was asking if I could do some videos for him. And through that connection and through doing those videos for him during that COVID era when no one could really do anything and there were all those um the guidelines with social distancing and everything. I was just putting out videos with him and it kind of gained traction for him. It gained traction for me. And then a lot of the people in the lacrosse community is very small. So I guess word of mouth is a very powerful thing. And that's kind of how I got connected with STX and ECD, the lacrosse network and all those other brands.
The I think over the years, no matter how long you've been doing it, I think you have to continue to improve and get better
Hmm.
and learn. And what's your process for continuing to get better? I know me, I'm going on these, I'm a big YouTube guy. Like I'm
Hmm.
self-taught. Like, how do I make this transition? How do I do this?
Hmm.
How do I is that kind of a similar process for you, or what's your way of learning more than anything else?
Yeah, I agree. I think talking to other creatives is really helpful for me also. TikTok is also really helpful. I feel like everyone's putting out quick little tutorials that are short, 30 seconds long about how to do a certain effect, how to do this, how to do that. And those will just randomly pop up on my feed sometimes. I'm like, oh, save that for later. That's a pretty good idea. So yeah, I just think that like talking with other creatives, how'd you do this? Like, and just trying to like not mimic, but like kind of see what someone else is doing and be like, oh, like I can do this, but put my own little spin on it, and make it my own. So just constantly trying to learn. I mean, every single day there's a new trend. Every single day there's something new going on social media. So it's also about just like waking up and being like, okay, I have no idea what I'm gonna do today as far as posting content goes. I mean, just the other day, everyone's posting 2016 content. So I'm like digging through the archives of the Hopkins
That
social
made
media.
that made the life of a creative really interesting trying to find some.
Yeah, like I was like I went to work that day with a plan of what I was gonna do, and I'm scrolling on social media that morning, and I was like, okay, so scratch everything that I was gonna do today. I need to do this right now because if I were to do this in a week, this trend isn't gonna be a thing anymore. So I need to do it right now. So just being able to like pivot and just learn with the times and everything's changing every single day. So just constantly being able to learn, I think is really important.
That reminds me of the trend right now where all the pictures are in the wrong spot. Or like they're
Hmm.
all cut and then you tap it and it's like, I'm like,
Yeah,
this
on Twitter.
never but it's something, right? So is
Yeah, it's everywhere. Like I'll be scrolling like whatever, and I'm just like every single post. I'm like, oh my gosh, but they do so well.
no, it's like you better
So
do and there's something
right.
in with the and this is how all social media stuff is. There's something in there
Hmm.
with the psychology of it. Like, okay, all these pictures are screwed up. It says tap to see it. All right, I'm gonna tap it. All right, now I'm gonna watch it for a little bit. Okay, maybe
Right.
it's somebody else that this is something you gotta watch. So it's
Right.
just it's like and then the algorithms all loves that stuff. But
Yeah.
um, spending a little time in the NFL, tell me about that experience and what that was and what you got from that experience as well.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable experience. I mean, truly, I have really no words to describe it. Somehow, once again, through the connections that I had made, the just, yeah, I mean, just, I honestly have no words to describe it. I was a senior in college at the time, which definitely made things a little bit difficult as far as scheduling wise. I mean, I was still playing soccer. So I would play soccer every single day, and then Sunday was our off day. And then Sunday I would be going to Ravens stadiums for a 10-hour game day. So I mean, it was truly an unbelievable experience just being on the NFL stage, meeting so many awesome people, and just having those conversations and being around players like Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, John Harbaugh, just seeing them and being on the field with them and having conversations with them, like it was truly unbelievable. And I've taken a lot from that experience. I think the speed of which everything happens in the NFL is insane. And I think that that's kind of something that I've tried to translate through my work at Johns Hopkins. You get there, get to the stadium at 8 a.m. The players are arriving at 9 for arrivals, and that arrival stuff is only relevant for, 15, 20 minutes. You have to get that stuff up. You have to get that stuff up on social media because now the players are walking out to warm up. So just the speed of everything and everything staying relevant is something that I've really taken from that experience. But yeah, I mean, it was an unbelievable experience. I mean, Thursday night football, Sunday night football under the lights at M&T Bank Stadium. I mean, truly unbelievable. Um, and I mean, the AFC Championship was there the year that I was there, and that's when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were dating. So I was like this close to Taylor Swift. Like it was truly unbelievable.
I'm curious, and this is probably some things that people would never think about, but from a workflow standpoint, from I press the shutter button on my camera to the post goes out. What does that chain look like from an NFL standpoint? Because I can imagine it's
Mhm,
probably a lot more complex and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems a lot crazier than what people might think.
mhm. Yeah, so for me it was pretty interesting because I was doing mainly video. So I would have my video rig with my 4K 120 camera, but then I also had a NFL phone that I had on top of the camera itself. So it was kind of a crazy rig. I had, the camera lens and then the phone on top, and both things were filming. And this specific year, the NFL really wanted to push iPhone content. And so anytime a touchdown, anytime a play, anything happened, I would always right away, it was on my phone right then and there. And I was quickly able to just upload it to an app where everyone from the NFL and everyone from the respective teams have access to it. So I mean, I would go scrolling on my phone like after games, and you'd see the call like if I got an arrival of Lamar Jackson or something, Lamar's college would post it, and then it's just like an example. Like the college would post it, the NFL would post it, and then the Ravens would also post it. So all of a sudden, you're seeing my content everywhere, and just like being like, whoa, like so many people like have access to it, so many like different ways of viewing it, and yeah, so it was pretty easy. As far as like the camera, like actual like camera film would go. I wouldn't really upload that as quickly as the phone content. They really were preaching get the phone content up. I mean, speed. It's the name of the game, and things are only relevant for so long. But yeah, I mean, within an hour after the game, everything would be uploaded for the NFL, the teams, and organizations to use.
I know there's people within the NFL who their specific role is uh archive like director of archival footage. I think there was a video that I think the Jets put out something like that.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
I think he has multiple titles, but this is just one of them. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what a title to like just
Yeah.
kill the archived footage
Hmm.
because there's so much and like
So much.
you want to be able to pull stuff from like way
Hmm.
back when. You want to be able to pull
Hmm.
stuff from, a few years ago. Like you want to be able to pull
Hmm.
stuff from like 1982.
Right.
And it is just like I have this like I have my little Samsung, portable SSD and I'm like,
Hmm.
man, I feel like that's a lot sometimes. I can't even imagine what these like mini data centers look
Yeah.
like for NFL teams.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine. I mean, even just like the rolls of film that they probably have, like if
Yes.
like
Yeah.
it's insane. And now you have cameras everywhere. You have angles. I mean, every single inch of that field is covered. So it's like you have 100 different angles of the exact same play, and now you're labeling it. And yeah, I can't even imagine.
No, that is, and you mentioned bringing that over to Johns Hopkins. Can you walk me through how you kind of got into that role and how that opportunity came about?
Yeah, so I mean, it all comes back to the connections. I was working a freelance gig over the summer, and I met a lacrosse goalie who was just in like playing in a lacrosse event, and I met him. He, didn't think anything of it. A couple months down the road, he shot me a DM on Instagram. It was like, hey, like I play at Johns Hopkins, and our coaches are interviewing a bunch of people for this job or this internship. Can I give them your name? And I was like, I mean, sure. I mean, I didn't go to Johns Hopkins. I went to a school an hour north of Johns Hopkins. Like, I mean, sure, like, didn't think anything of it. The very next day, it felt like I was getting recruited because I get a phone call from a random phone number. I pick it up, and it's the head coach on the men's lacrosse team. He's like, hey, Grayson, this is Pete Milliman. We want you to do our social media. And I was like, I was shocked. I mean, I was a sophomore in college. I was a baby. I don't know what I'm doing. But of course I said yes. And at first it started with an internship. And it was a paid internship, so I was able to get class credits at McDaniel for it. So I would go, a couple times a week as much as I could with my soccer schedule. And eventually, like pretty much as soon as I graduated McDaniel, they were like, yeah, like this is gonna be a full-time position. So this is my second year full time, but fifth year with the program itself. So it's crazy. Like majority of my time there was when I was at McDaniel. So
Wow.
I don't know how I did it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a wild gig, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, and then you obviously start doing football. How did that?
Hmm.
So I'm not. Walk me through kind of how the position is set up. Are you the director of the entire deal, and then you have specific teams that you work with, and then you have it? What's kind of the makeup of the staff?
Yeah, so I pretty much directly report to the each and individual coaches. I work with
Okay,
our SID with our sports information director. Like I work with them a lot also. But mainly I report to the coaching staff on a day-to-day basis. I have meetings with the coaching staff on a day-to-day basis. Um, but yeah, so I just work with men's and women's lacrosse. And then as soon as I became full-time with the school, and like graduated from McDaniel, that's when I took up the football piece also. Just because I had a little bit more time on my schedule because I wasn't balancing classes and my soccer schedule also. So I was kind of able to put that in there also. And as far as like technically, like I'm a contractor with the school. So I get paid hourly, which definitely has its pros and its cons. But for pros, I mean, when I'm traveling, like every single hour of that is accounted for, which, it encourages me to work even more because I'm like, well, I'm getting paid. Um, yeah, and like like as a creative, like you can work some crazy long days, some crazy long hours. I mean, it's definitely not even close to a 9 to 5 at all, which is also one of the reasons why I love it. So, yeah, I mean, I report directly to the coaches, and then obviously report to the SIDs also. Um, but yeah, we have another videographer. His name is Ryan. He's awesome. I don't know how he does it, but he does the best job at covering all the other sports at Hopkins. And I give him a lot of respect because I don't know how he manages all of that. So he's awesome, but yeah, I just do men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse, and football.
what's a day to day look like for you, other than maybe not game day specifically?
Mhm.
What does an average day in your seat look like?
Oh boy, every day is different. But primarily I'm waking up at 5:30. I'm getting to the office by 7. Women's lacrosse practice is right in the morning. So I'll go with them right away in the morning. And then they're normally done around 9:30, somewhere in there. And then I'm editing for a little bit. I normally stop editing around lunchtime, so like noon. I'll go hit a lift normally right around 12:30, and then I edit a little bit more, and then men's lacrosse has practice at 4:30. So they're definitely long days because I'm getting to the office by 7 and I'm leaving at 7 p.m. So they're definitely long days, but they're also super rewarding. And I love it. I mean, in the fall, the day-to-day was a little bit different, just Football was practicing at 6 a.m. every single morning. So I was obviously at the office a little bit earlier then. And then lacrosse would go in the mornings also right after football. So it was nice because in the fall, like my day was pretty much done at 2 o'clock. But yeah, I mean, as far as like day-to-day work, I mean, like I said earlier, I'll wake up and have no idea what I'm going to do that day. Like I'll have a plan. I'll be like, well, this needs to get done, this needs to get done. But then you see a trend and you're like, we have to get on this right away. So as far as day-to-day goes, like I'm trying to keep up with the trends as much as I can, while also covering the teams and just yeah. So you really don't know what every single day is going to look like outside of that main structure of practice time and all that.
I think that one of the cool things about Division 3 is you get a mix of this stuff. Like you
Hmm.
get some teams that like they've just put out the game day graphic and they're happy. Probably the SID
Hmm.
did it, call it a day.
Right.
Then you got you who like you
Hmm.
get. I'm speaking from the football perspective. Like you got. I mean, you're putting out like graphics of people tweeting about them. You got people. You're doing videos. You're doing all this stuff. What do you think are some of the misconceptions maybe about creative work at the Division 3 level?
Oh man. Yeah, I definitely think that, I think that people kind of underlook it a little bit, and think, oh, it's like it's Division 3, it doesn't, matter as much. But I mean, coming from, I'm a Division 3 athlete myself, and I'll tell you what, a lot of the girls that I played with at McDaniel College, like, they have some pretty interesting stories that no one would know about. So something that I've kind of tried to take from my experience at being an athlete myself at the Division 3 level is trying to tell these stories of these players as much as I can. Bay Harvey, for example, he's from Switzerland. Like
Crazy.
that's sick. Like that's so awesome. So having that opportunity to tell that story, I mean, a lot of people know that now. But not many people would know that necessarily. So I think it's definitely underlooked a little bit, but I definitely try and give our athletes that Division 1 experience with the content that I'm putting out, and I know that the families are really grateful for it. I know that the players are really grateful for it, and I think it's definitely elevated Hopkins football as a whole.
Yeah, well, you certainly do. That is for sure. I want to talk about the graphics side of things a little bit because I was certainly a video guy turned graphics guy, and
Yep.
I think I actually might enjoy doing graphics more for some reason. I don't
Hmm.
know what that's about. I think
Hmm.
um, video, it's with graphics, like I turn on some music, like I'm vibing out.
Yeah.
I'm no, video, it's like I'm listening to the same song over and over again. I'm having to manufacture the story a little bit, and so is that is always a hurdle to kind of get over is doing that. But for
Hmm.
you, like when did you kind of start doing graphics, and what was kind of the challenging part about going from graphics or to from video and then kind of translating that into photography, and then obviously graphics kind of goes along with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to earlier, like just having to evolve and learn constantly. So, I mean, originally when I first started doing video, I loved video, but then I realized that, a lot of people hire a videographer and a photographer. Why not just be both? Okay, so then I learned how to be both. I figured out how to do both, and I got really good at both. And then I was like, okay, well, now I'm really good at these two things. Everything kind of comes a lot easier to me. Let's learn a little bit of graphics also. And that was definitely Photoshop. It was terrifying to me. We like honestly, like it was the most terrifying thing ever that I've ever looked at. But I mean, even now, like I don't know what half this stuff does, and there's always something that I can learn within Photoshop. But it's also like I also love being like doing the graphics, and like you said, just being able to put some headphones in and listen to some music and just do it. I mean, same thing with when I'm editing photos. It's nice to just listen to some music, calm down, and not listen to the same couple beats of a rap song over and over and over and over again. So
Maybe not a
um
song I necessarily like, but it's like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
like.
Yeah, and then it
Yeah,
like
that
ruins the song for you. Like I can't
oh
listen
my
to half the
gosh.
songs that I make reels to anymore because I'm like, oh my God, I've heard this 300 times already today. Like I can't.
Oh, I resonate with that so much, and yeah, it's, I'm like, man, if you but the other thing is if you really wanna kinda make it in this profession, you really have to learn to do both, and,
Hmm.
um, that's, I think everybody has their style, but when it comes to, like, your style with graphics, I'm curious how you kinda landed on, whether it's, like, the textures within the graphics, whether it's the fonts, or what was kinda your process with creating a theme, as well as, obviously, one of the things that I know SIDs get crazy about sometimes is just working with them at times is the style guide. Like you want to make sure that you're using the stuff that they are, of course, accustomed to, and the school
Hmm.
obviously probably paid for some of that stuff. What is
Hmm.
kind of that approach for you when it comes to graphics?
Right. We had a guy do our graphics. So before I learned how to do a bunch of graphics, I had hired out a graphic designer. His name's Hale. And I owe him a lot of what I've learned throughout the years. We had him with lacrosse for I think a year and a half or 2 years. And he did a tremendous job for us. And I kind of learned, through his style and through some of the things that he had sent me. I've kind of evolved it to kind of change the landscape of what I'm posting. And but a lot of those textures, a lot of that base layer
Hmm.
of a lot of our graphics are from him. I mean, and he's a full-time graphic designer, so he does great work, and a lot of that base layer of what I'm doing is from him. And there are obviously pieces and fonts and different things that I've kind of gathered over the years that I've been able to pull from and put into my own little spin of it. But yeah, as far as like the spine of a lot of the graphic works is pretty much all him. So I owe a lot to him. Um, but yeah, it's all kind of the past 2 years has all um evolved and changed as I see fit. So
Yeah, my biggest inspiration is definitely pulling stuff from Skull Sparks basically every
hmm.
other day.
Yeah.
Like I got in trouble once for doing it a little too much because when I was at Simpson, because I was coaching, but then I also did all of our social media and our graphics, and Iowa State was like I was a huge fan of what they were doing,
Hmm.
and I really like they had a graphic where maybe I'll show it in here, but they had a graphic where they had all the helmets, like a vintage helmet of every single team that they were going to play, and
That's
then,
sick.
like, it was sweet, and then I
Yeah.
basically carbon copy, like, it was the
Yeah.
same graphic, I didn't even change, like, anything about the design. Our SID comes in my office like, "Do you know somebody at Iowa State?" And I'm like, "No, why?" I'm like, "Well, I just saw their schedule graphic, and, it looks really familiar." I'm like, "Hey, man, it's Copycat League. It's Copycat League," and, I definitely, got more creative on my own, I think, like, coming up with my own designs, but,
Hmm.
man, I remember early on with graphics specifically, I would throw I didn't know anything about, like, blending or
Hmm.
backgrounds or any of that stuff, so that was
Hmm.
totally foreign language to me, but, yeah, those early days, I'm like, "Alright, let's go Skull Sparks, let's see what
Yeah.
someone's cooking, and let's
I
go
mean,
from there."
yeah, it's really helpful to learn, honestly. Like you learn so many new like I mean, you learn so much just from um looking on social media and be like, oh, like that's really cool. Like I'm gonna try and like emulate like a certain version of it. Like you can learn so much from other creators, which goes back to what you were saying earlier about how do you learn. I mean, just like you said, like going on Skull Sparks and just trying it yourself and being like, oh dang, like I can do this if I wanted to. So yeah, like yeah, huge.
I don't think I think some maybe in other professions like this it would be frowned upon, but I think going on a site like that and finding something you like and just trying to literally copy it step by step, and even if you don't use it, whatever, fine.
Hmm.
Like I think that is the best. Like some ask me like, "Oh, how
Hmm.
I'm trying to get into graphic design. What's the best way to do it?" I'm like, "There's this website. Go find something on there. see
Hmm.
what something you like, find obviously gather the photos and the colors and all that
Hmm.
good stuff. Literally try to copy it and
And
look
do
up
it
YouTube,
yourself. Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
yourself, just figure it out. And I
Hmm.
think some stray away from that, but I'm like, no, that's now I have a style. Like when I make a
Hmm.
graphic for either this show or another show or whatever the case is, like I now have like a style of things that I like to, or I
Right.
do balls graphics now, and I always have like a now I have like I have a type, right? I have a type of
Right.
graphic I do. And I think that's such a good way to learn how to do this whole thing. But
Yeah.
I
No,
think
for sure. I totally agree.
one thing I'm curious about is the trust side of things, because when you go into a locker room, maybe not literally, but you go into a team
Hmm.
and you start putting a camera in everybody's faces. I'm not sure how Hopkins was before that, but
Hmm.
people start acting a little differently at times, or
Right.
they get a little weird. What was kind of your approach to, maybe potty training these players to be like, okay, I got to get used to this a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been lucky where I haven't dealt with a lot of coach changes at Hopkins. Um, so as far as like the coaches, like I've pretty much had nearly the entire staff for both men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse, and football. So as far as like, I walk into the coach's office and, we've been together for years at this point. So they trust me, I trust them. But I definitely think that's a slow process for sure. I mean, you can't just give someone the keys to your social media and say, good luck. So but also at the end of the day, like that's also kind of what they did. So they did put a lot of trust in me and which I'm very appreciative of. Um, so yeah, I think, just slowly building that trust over time. I mean, some of the freshmen are always like, what's going on? Like always a little bit skeptical. But at this point I've already seen a freshman class graduate that I've been with. Um so I think just like over time that trust builds and knowing that I'm never gonna purposely do them dirty or anything, post an embarrassing photo of them. Like I don't do any of that stuff. I really try and keep everybody as happy as possible. Um, but yeah, I mean it's definitely just something that comes over time and just building those connections, just trying to be friends with a lot of the players I think has definitely helped. I'm not just, a girl with a camera in your face. Like I'm a person and I think just being able to talk to them and, just being able to be around them without the camera has definitely helped a lot. And then when I do have the camera in my hands, they're like okay with it.
Yeah.
Just because they trust what I'm doing. So
When you think of all of the athletes that you've been around in the last, how many years you been at Hopkins?
5.
In the last 5 years, is there one athlete, lacrosse or football, that sticks out as maybe not like the best player or the worst player, but like they love the camera. Like they're just every chance they get. I know I think guys right away that I've
Oh
been around.
my God.
That dude loves it.
Yeah. Oh man. I could give you so many names right now, so I'm not going to give you any.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the football guys, I do think a lot of them eat it up. Yeah, I can give you a long list of names right now. Our wide receivers love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could go on and on.
We won't get into it, but yeah, that I know exactly what you mean. The
Yeah.
receivers, he's the worst.
Uh,
Um, Usually, I know the starting center up there. He loves. I know
yeah.
it's never. It's always the
Yeah,
big.
Andrew.
Yeah, Drew. Man, he's always.
Yeah.
I that dude is quite the electric factor. I will say.
Oh,
When when River Falls was making when we were making the run, and
Mhm.
well, I was when we started previewing the game and started talking about it, he would just like every single thing that I would put out. Just I don't know if it was like he was trying to like get at me, but it was all just like this is what it's all about. I guess we'll
Yeah.
just part of it up. This past the semifinal game, one of the craziest games I've ever been a part of my entire life.
Mhm.
From your seat, I'm curious. there's this historic play that happens, right? And for us, it's historic, right? Um, I'm curious, just from your seat, what was that game like? From obviously, it was a chilly one. I got to shoot actually here in a couple of days where I'm going up to Minnesota, and it's supposed to be like -20, and I'm like, I really don't need my camera gear to freeze, but it probably
Yeah.
will. So, what was
Oh
it like?
boy.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, that'll be fun for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that game itself was insane. I mean, definitely one of the more memorable pro games that I've ever shot. No matter the result, I mean, I think that the game itself was incredible. I mean, even just traveling there, we were stuck on the tarmac for, 5 hours. So
That's great. I forgot about that. That's crazy.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, we had a whole day planned. We were gonna go to Mall of America. The guys were gonna do their Christmas shopping, and then we were stuck on the tarmac for five hours, and none of the guys could do their Christmas shopping.
Oh,
Um,
that
yeah, so I
stinks.
mean, I know. But yeah, I think that game was remarkable. I mean, it was obviously super cold, and I was obviously bundled up there, but I think there was a point in the game where I was sweating because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so intense. Um, and I really try not to, think too much about like the scoreboard and I really just try and focus on like each play at a time because that's kind of what you got to do and just making sure the camera's steady and all that stuff and you're getting the plays. So I really wasn't looking at the scoreboard that often. Until that last couple minutes there, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. But yeah, I mean, that last play was obviously devastating. I mean, it was electric for you guys and I mean, the atmosphere was unbelievable. I think that game was I mean, the entire atmosphere just in general was electric. Like the fact that that many fans showed up for that game when it's freezing cold outside. It was awesome. Um, but yeah, definitely a heartbreaking one for sure. But yeah, I was pretty locked in on just one play at a time. But yeah.
I think some programs, some creative departments, or
Mhm.
creative. Obviously, you are the department for the most part.
Mhm.
Uh, that a lot of times the cop out with a loss, right, is you either don't post, maybe you
All
just
right.
post a like final or whatever. But I
Mhm.
thought you did that in a really good way. Like you did it in a really good way and um made it a little bit more meaningful, I think,
Mhm.
than just maybe like a final score graphic
Mhm.
or I really liked the way that you did that and kind of it was more of a uh, homage to the year and homage
Mhm.
to the moment versus letting the maybe the emotions get the best of the situation because you could easily just say, I've done it before. Like, we lose, and I'm like, I don't want to post anything. Like,
Right.
I,
Right.
obviously being a coach, it's a lot harder because I'll
Mhm.
at the end of the game, I'm like, that sucked. I'm not posting anything, and then of
Mhm.
course,
Mhm.
hey, you gotta post something. I'm like, fine, but I
Mhm.
really liked how you did that. I thought it was really well done in a way that obviously is heartbreaking, devastating, but really still, and maybe you think it's a simple deal, but I just love the way that you did that. So,
Thank you.
uh,
Yeah, I think the with that, like the posts that I've found do the best are the ones that have so much emotion behind them. I mean, I've learned that with lacrosse. I've learned that, with football. And like, I mean, that post has a ton of likes, a ton of comments, like just because everyone's like, dang, like I feel for them. Like our fan base, like our families, like just everyone is like, oh my gosh, like I feel this photo. Um, and there's actually a video that I have. I never posted it.
mm,
But because I was gonna post it, but then we ended up losing. But um, it's a video of number 11 Carson Bordeaux after we lost to F&M, and no one's seen this video. This is the first time I'm ever talking about it.
okay.
It's a video of Carson Bordeaux after we had lost to F&M in the Centennial Conference Championship in overtime, and it's him, and it's like him just like walk right after the play happened where we lost, and he just puts his head down. He's walking, and in the background, you just see all the F&M players like running behind him, cheering, dancing, everything, and it is the most heartbreaking, gut wrenching clip that I've ever gotten in my entire life. And I was this close to posting it, but I was like, no, like that might be a little bit too much. So there's definitely a balance to it. I mean, now the season's over, and if I were to post it now, it definitely wouldn't do as well. But that's one of those clips where it's like, dang, you could get a lot of views, a lot of engagements on this post, just because everyone's like, oh my gosh, like I feel for this kid right now. Like there's definitely an art of losing. Everyone loves winning, but there's definitely an art in losing too. And that, yeah, I'll have to send you that clip so you can put it in because oh my gosh,
Yeah,
gut
that's
wrenching.
also, and I'm like, okay, the hype reel for
Hmm.
next year
Right.
was really sick with
Hmm.
I'm already brainstorming ideas. Maybe we should just start
Hmm.
making this right now. But obviously, you start with the play at the end of the game, right? The end
Yeah.
of that,
Yeah.
and then the heartbreaking thing. You do the whole
Hmm.
thing, and then bang, right into the whole
Right.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly. Like those, as much as it sucks, like I also have another gut-wrenching clip of Bay Harvey hugging his mom right after the game, in River Falls. Like so, so sad, so terrible. But it's one of those things like yeah, like that's a very memorable clip, and I'll have to send it to him at some point because I know his mom would probably appreciate it. But um, yeah, like it's just those emotion clips are huge.
obviously shifting gears just a little bit. I'm curious with
Hmm.
stuff like that where you're going to use stuff maybe down the line. I'm curious of your, how you go about storing. Maybe this is not the conversation people want to hear, but it's conversation I want to know.
Uh-huh.
With storage management, I'm
Hmm.
curious just how you go about that. Some people use a NAS and like do it over
Hmm.
Wi-Fi. Like some people just have. This is what I do. I just have loads of just little mini SSDs. What's your kind of process with that whole deal?
Yeah, so I have one SSD, which is, great to edit off of, that I'll keep like recent games on. I'll keep anything that I'm still actively working on. I'll keep that on the SSD. But then after I'm pretty much done editing whatever I need to edit off that SSD, I put it on a hard drive. So I have stacks and stacks and stacks of hard drives that are just labeled like I need a new one every like 3 or 4 months just because you run out of space so quickly. But yeah, I keep everything that I've ever captured, which is definitely something that I would recommend to other people, because you never know when you might need that clip. You never know when you might need that photo. So I keep everything, and as crazy as that sounds, like every raw photo, every edited photo, everything. I label all of the like my like favorite like select clips from specific games, just to keep everything organized. Um, but yeah, I have stacks and stacks of hard drives, and occasionally I'll have to bring a couple of them with me just because, like, when I'm traveling and stuff, just because I don't know what I'm gonna need um when I'm traveling. But yeah, for the most part, everything's on hard drives. Um, yeah, so
Yeah, that's after we're done, I'm definitely gonna need a brand because I'm so bad at that, and I've had so many drives that just
mhm.
stink, like they just suck, and they're
Really,
hard with. Yeah, I've had a lot like this one.
I
Well,
use the
this
lacy drive.
I had to tear this one apart. Yeah,
Oh
the
my
lace.
God.
I ripped this one apart because I was trying to get the footage off of it. Um, Clearly screwed up any warranty that I have.
Right.
Um, yeah, this was a lacy. This is a one that actually works. But
Uh,
this is what it looked like. I had to rip it all apart. And then
wow.
this
Oh my
one,
gosh.
there's so much good footage on this. I need to send it in to get restored. It's a
Is that
Seagate.
one of the big, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that one of the big,
Yes,
like, 20 terabyte ones?
28 terabytes.
Hmm. I
Now
have one of
it's
those also.
okay. This is the one you use. This is the one you use for all
Yeah,
the.
I'll use that. I'll keep all game footage on those, on like the really big ones, so that if I'm looking for specific clips, like I can just plug that into my computer, grab the couple clips that I need that are I'm gonna edit off of, and I just copy those to my SSD, and I
Same
edit
thing.
off my SSD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah, so this one, like it was sitting on my desk and I have a
Hmm.
such a sad story, but I have a standing desk so it goes up and down
Hmm.
and I my dang chair like sits right where the buttons are. And so
Hmm.
I was editing and I was doing something with it and my chair
Hmm.
started going up and then it
Hmm.
fell. and now it just
Oh,
doesn't work.
wow.
So
No
like,
way.
yeah, it just doesn't work. There's nothing
Oh my
like
God.
I did try to. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I did rip this thing apart and put it back together because I was trying to get the stuff off it. Yeah, the cable it'll go and it'll just crash. It won't work anymore.
Damn.
So I
Dang.
send it in because it's very sad. Um,
Yeah.
I gotta see what you gotta see what brand what's your brand of choice with that? Because I literally need something new.
I use a SanDisk for my SSD. I use Lacy hard drives for all my hard drives. And then I have one of those bigger ones that you have, and I keep all game footage on there so that if I'm looking for specific and it's game footage, but it's only the selects of that footage.
Is
So like if
DQ
I am
the 10
yes,
terabyte external desktop drive?
yeah.
All
So
right,
if
we
I'm
also
looking for yeah,
yeah.
I'll send you the
Yeah,
link.
please do.
Um,
This is
mhm.
totally getting edited out, but I definitely nobody's gonna care about this, but
Yeah, that's okay.
the ones that will care. The ones that
Yeah,
will.
it's important. It's important stuff. No creative talks about it enough. Yeah. Like
They
like
this is this is the
yeah.
stuff that out. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, last couple things here for you, quick. I'm curious where you sit with AI and how it's affect. I definitely use it a lot when it comes to um, like if I'm storyboarding something for like a
Mhm,
client, I definitely use that for a shot list for
mhm,
using schedules and stuff. I have done it with some graphic stuff where I'm trying to get like this really specific background
mhm,
um, about it. What's kind of your take on the on how you use it or if you use it at all?
mhm. Yeah, I mean, I use it a little bit. I think there was a couple examples. That one trend where like it's like a camera of like the entire Earth, and then it like quickly like zooms into um like a play or like a person or whatever. There was a trend going around for a while where I used it for that. Occasionally I use it for a couple like recruiting elements to get players in Hopkins uniforms. Um, just like, simple-ish stuff that you could do yourself if you wanted to. But also like being one woman band over here, I try and do things as fast as possible and try and save as much time as I can. And ChatGPT and AI and all that stuff are definitely things that have helped me get things done a little bit quicker. I don't use it a ton, but for a lot of this more special projects like jersey swaps and a bunch of stuff, you could spend an hour doing a jersey swap on Photoshop, or you could send it into ChatGPT and it'll be done in 5 minutes. So,
And it's
um,
you wonder how much people care too. Like this,
mhm,
like you and I can probably spot that stuff pretty
mhm.
quick.
Yeah.
And I know some like, man, I showed my mom one thing from
Mhm,
what I made with that. She's like, how is that even possible? And I'm like, if you tell it to do the right thing, it'll
mhm,
do whatever you want for it.
mhm,
Um, it's sometimes I feel like wrong. It feels wrong sometimes, but like
mhm,
I think truly, if you're using it the right way and
mhm,
just saving time too, is
mhm.
a good way to go about things.
Yeah, I see a lot of people on Twitter that are like, I can't believe that this company, who has millions and millions of followers is using AI for this graphic, and I don't really care. I just I don't really care. I mean, someone's definitely trying to save some time somewhere. I would imagine. Now if creatives start losing their jobs over AI, like I think that's when I'll be like, okay, that's a problem.
I don't
But
think
at the end of the
close-
day,
like I don't think we're close to that yet. Like
I don't think so either. AI
just don't.
cannot capture stories. They can make
Not a
graphics. AI can make graphics. So like graphic designers out there maybe could be a little bit worried, but
man. Like you still like
yeah,
I've seen what it does to faces.
yeah. Oh,
Like
terrible.
it doesn't even look close. Logos
Yeah,
too. Logos. It
yeah.
can't even
Oh,
do
yeah. Logos
logos.
and faces. Yeah, terrible.
It,
But like,
it just won't do it, which is so
yeah,
strange to me. It's literally
yeah.
flat still image. I don't get the deal
Right.
with this, but
Right.
um but again, like I think it's a time and a place, and I think I don't see it like I'm like there's no way that somebody can capture the Blake Rohr play down the
Right.
side. Like I just
Right.
see that happening, but again, like I never thought you'd be able to do some of the stuff that you're able to do now. But
I know.
uh,
It's crazy.
I'm curious what your most viewed piece of content ever was.
Ooh. Including the NFL?
Maybe we should not say that because that one maybe that's a bit that one's maybe built in a little bit.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Maybe. Well, I just know like when I was no, that's fine. Yeah, whatever the most viewed piece of content is.
Including my stuff for the NFL or
Maybe
no?
let's do one without and one with if you can
NFL
figure
is
it out.
probably like an arrival shot of Travis Kelce that I just shot on my
Mm.
phone. Just one of those things. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, of course.
right.
Just one of those things, like right spot, like right time, posted probably with a trending audio on it. And it just happened to get millions and millions of views. Um,
That is
um,
awesome. Love that.
yeah, I think, and then another one, also very bizarre, was, you know how, like when you set up a camera and you have a whiteboard there and the players walk up to it and answer the question
Yeah.
on the whiteboard and then keep walking? It was one of those videos that I did like 2 years ago at Hopkins. I asked the guys, the men's lacrosse team, as they were walking out to practice. It was right around the time that high school lacrosse schedules were getting released and like
Mhm.
they were starting up. And I asked them what the best high school lacrosse team was in the country. And obviously, they're all going to shout out their own high schools, right?
Yeah.
Um, but then you get all these high school lacrosse kids commenting, "Oh, boys Latin, oh, McDonough, oh, this, that," and like they're going at it at each other in the comments. So I think that video has like 2 million views on our Instagram. Um, yeah, like bizarre. One of those
Yeah.
things that I did not spend a lot of time on. But it just happened to go viral. I feel like the stuff that you spend the most time on, like, just doesn't
Oh,
doesn't do well half the time. I'm like, oh my gosh.
yeah. Do a live game day show from freaking the Stag Bowl,
Yeah.
3,000 views. Oh, post one video of us like burping and it goes like this is ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah. It's
It's
insane.
so silly.
So
My
yeah, you can't predict it.
when I was coaching at River Falls, you know that remember the
Mhm.
trend of like we're the only school in the conference with a gas station that serves. So we
Yeah.
did we're the only WIAC team with 3 quick trips, which kind of true, kind of not. There's
Right.
got 30, like 30 of them.
Right.
And then there's some other ones that did have exactly 3, and that was kind of our
Uh-huh.
claim to it. I think
Uh-huh.
Platteville exactly 3 too.
Uh-huh.
Um, and we got just taken to the river on that thing. Like people just being so mad that we claimed this. And that I think it had like 3 million views, and we like, but a week later, after we posted it, because I started getting nervous because like people were hating on it. It's the first time I got hate on and somebody we got a letter from Quick Trip that says you need to take this down because it's
No
not true.
way.
Yeah, we got
No
like a hey, so our athletic director walks in the door and is like, "Hey, what's the deal with the Quick Trip thing?" And we're like,
way.
"Ah, whatever. This is what it was." And
Mhm.
they got like our athletic director was like, "So we got a letter that says you need to. They're mad about it and they want you to take it down." We're like,
No
first,
way.
that's awesome. That we did a job here.
That's awesome.
It already got its time. We'll take it
Right.
down. But it was a
Right.
still easily probably the most viewed piece of content I've ever
Mhm.
produced. And I'm like, it took me like 5 minutes and it
Right.
was so silly. It was so silly.
Yeah.
But
That's so
anyway,
awesome. It got
he's
I feel like the content that, like, makes, like, people, like, angry, like, rage
yep,
baiting.
yep,
Yep,
absolutely.
that's it. That
Yeah.
like, you're gonna get a comment out of that, like, engagements.
I can
Like,
make the cinematic video shot on a dang
hmm
Arri Alexa, um, and it'll get 5 views, and then I'll
yep.
make a silly little iPhone video of
hmm
like someone doing a backflip, and it'll get
Right.
trillion views. It's so silly.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
That's kind of why the NFL like was pushing the iPhone content
I,
um in 2022. Is just like I was so not accustomed to it. I was like, I don't, why would I shoot on an iPhone when I have a cinema camera right here? But like it like you see examples of it day in and day out. It's just like the stuff shot on a phone is like does better on social media, which is so bizarre, but it is what it is, you know? But
um, one of my last questions here for, gosh, totally. Oh yeah, totally lost my train of thought. But is
you're
there
good.
anything in the creative world that you haven't done that you really want to do, or have always said, "Man, I've always wanted to do that," or "This is something that I would like to do"?
Ooh, I I think, right away, I think um doing like a series
Mm,
um throughout either the football season or the lacrosse season of like weekly episodes, kind of like a mini documentary
love that.
with season with an episode every week, an episode every 2 weeks, whatever it is. I think just like show the ins and outs of a program um on a deeper level rather than just social media posts. I think that doing something like that would be phenomenal. I think, I mean, if we would have won the national championship this year, I definitely would have made some type of mini documentary out of that. So you also kind of got to get lucky with, how the team is performing. Um,
Right.
so I think that this past fall, I was, this close to spending a lot of time doing some type of mini documentary on the story of how Johns Hopkins has made it to a national championship, and
Yeah.
won a national championship, whatever. And that's just, one of those things that I'll just have to keep in the back of my head and save it for next year. But yeah, as far as like I think doing something like that, but like doing it live like every week or every 2 weeks, I think would be really awesome. And that's definitely a goal of mine for this year and next year.
Yeah, I that would be absolutely awesome to watch. Have you seen like Johnny Built? It's St. John stuff. Like
hmm
they do something like that, and it's probably my favorite piece of content that I
hmm
like regularly watch because I'm just like, man, I want to see what they're doing this week, and
Right. I know,
definitely
Oregon, yeah, Oregon football sticks out to me, like the Ducks
yes,
versus Den
yeah,
series.
love it,
Their
so good,
their video, yeah, their video with against Penn State, like that was beautiful.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my
I'm
gosh.
curious how many people worked on that. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like one guy that works on that show or
hmm
that like series, or if it's, they all, I mean, I'm sure a team of that size probably like they probably organize all that footage. Like they
hmm
probably have what, probably 5 people with
Yeah.
cameras,
Yeah. I mean,
maybe.
you have, yeah, you have at least someone in every end zone. You have someone on the sideline getting that like the bench and like the sideline content. Yeah, at least got like at least 4 or 5 people
At least.
shooting.
Yeah, I would think at least
Yeah,
4. Yeah, that
yeah.
is some cooking up with River Falls. I'm not allowed to say it yet, but we got
Oh,
some cooking.
ooh,
It's not
as you
green lit.
should.
It's Yeah, we have not got the green light officially yet, but we
Mhm.
just had a big meeting about it today. So, if you
I'm
made it
I'm
this
I'm
far,
excited to.
yes, I'll tell you right after, but should
Okay,
be fun. Okay, last little piece here is just some quick hits. You can elaborate as much or as little as you would like to. Um,
okay.
First one right here is dream camera rig, camera all
Ooh.
maybe your dream camera setup.
I really try not to think about gear that much, so I don't really have a good answer for you.
Okay,
Just because I try not to think about the millions of dollars I could be spending on camera gear. What?
you're better than me. I think about it. I'm like, well, if I shoot this video for this much, then I could buy this one, and then I'm so bad. I'm a gear junkie about that. Okay, better question then. What are you shooting on right now?
I use a Sony A1 for photo, and I use a Sony A7S III for video.
Fantastic. I'm a Canon guy, and it's not
Mm.
because it's not because of that a choice. It's because when I graduated from high school, I bought a Canon G7X, and
Hmm.
it was a point and shoot camera. And
Hmm.
so I always
I
thought
have one of
that's
those now. I have one of those
yeah,
now.
it's awesome. Yeah, everybody wants them now. I got it when it was
Yeah.
cool. And and so like that was my first piece of camera equipment that's not even equipment I would call that. But like now I'm just like I just have all the Canon stuff and I'm like I can
Hmm.
never go back now. I
Yeah.
could
If
sell it.
you're in a family, it's hard to switch.
I got so many lenses. My
Yeah.
fiance's got like all the Canon stuff too. I'm like I could steal
Yeah.
one of her. It's all yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't switch. After you're with one, you kind of gotta stick it out.
No, no, I have to
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
One piece of content you're most proud of.
Mm. Ooh. Oh God. I would say the men's lacrosse intro video last year. So I guess it was the 2025 intro video that would play on the like Jumbotron, whatever, before games. I'm really proud of that. It kind of encapsulates um our past with all the national championships that we have, but then also our present and how hard our guys are working to get back there. I spent weeks on that video.
Awesome.
But yeah, definitely very proud of that one.
That's awesome. A tool, I know we're not talking about gear, but a tool that you can't live without.
My laptop and my phone.
Love That's a good one. That's a good
Easy.
one. I love that. Mine would probably, this might be a controversial one, but my
Uh-huh.
camera strap. I could not live without it.
Really?
Camera strap.
As soon as I get my camera, I take that thing off and I throw it in the trash can.
Well,
I don't use one.
well, I have this deal right here. So this one, it's got like, this is just one of my other bodies, but it has like
Uh-huh.
these little deals right here.
Uh-huh.
And so it's easy to take it on and off because yeah, as soon as I get the one, as soon as I get the one from Canon, that thing goes directly in the trash. But this one you can take it on and off. You need to put on a gimbal, fine, and then I can take it. But I'm totally handheld with everything I do, so I literally am
Yeah.
like I'm like this all the time.
Wow.
Like every basketball game. So I used to shoot basketball a lot. Every basketball game I ever shot was like this all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
And
I'm
that
a
is that just like a magnet, like or like a little like clip? Like,
yeah. It's just like a like. Let's see if we
oh, sick.
can focus on that. It's just like, and then it just locks in there.
Oh,
I
that's
think
so
it's
sick.
Peak Design. I think it's
Uh-huh.
yeah. It's a yeah Peak Design. Yeah, it's a. I'm I am a handheld guy. Like I
Hmm.
have a gimbal. Tripods are obviously a little different, but like camera straps, I have to have it. It's a
Hmm.
necessity of mine. Um, but now I'm starting to get into the cinema world of stuff. Like so now you
Hmm.
got like a top handle and like XLR
Right.
placement.
All the
It's,
gear, all the stuff.
it is my closet's an absolute mess. Um, okay. Preferred editing software.
Ooh, this is going to be a really hot take. I edit on LumaFusion, and you
What and
probably
what is
never heard of that.
Luma
Yep.
Fusion? What is that?
Yeah, you probably never heard of it, but pretty much all the edits that I'm doing are quick edits. They're super fast. I'm not trying to do insane effects and all that. Um, so I do want to get into After Effects and that all that, but for what I'm doing right now,
Interesting.
yeah, I just use LumaFusion. It's just I think it's so much quicker. It just simplifies the editing process a lot, and there's not too many like there's definitely a lot of options. Like I'm able to do everything that I need to do with it. Um, but yeah, I think it just
Check it out
simplifies
right
it
now.
a little bit.
I'm gonna have to look this up. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I was on Premiere for a long time,
Hmm.
and I've recently went over to DaVinci because
Hmm.
I am like super in the weeds with like color grading and like making
Oh
it look.
yeah,
I'm really trying to learn that side of it.
yeah.
So that was such a foreign language to me. I was like, what is log footage? I don't even know what that
Hmm.
is. And now I like exclusively use it, so I'm kind of psycho about it now. But
How's that
uh,
switchover been for you?
it's been awful. It's been terrible, but I'm finally once I got my keyboard shortcuts figured out, once I got all that, because like
Hmm.
then now I'm good. But like the nice thing about Premiere is like you can do a ripple cut with just
Yeah.
F. So like I just have F and it ripples everything before it. But
Hmm.
if you but it will do it if you select a clip, it'll just ripple cut the clip. But if you press ripple cut on DaVinci, it'll ripple cut everything before that. Everything. So
Oh,
like timeline. So I have to press C to cut it, and then I have to press G to delete it, and then C
oh
to
my
cut
God.
space. So that's my one
That's a
little
tough muscle memory thing
I'm like
to
I'm like doing the whole
adjust
thing.
to.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's been the one hard part. And then the color page on DaVinci is so hard at first, but now
I've seen it before and it looks so overwhelming.
once you just kind of eliminate some of the stuff it's all like
Yeah.
it's all a tool, but once you figure out some of the stuff you'll never need to know,
Hmm.
like the chroma warp, I use that like once a week. Like
Right.
I use it all the time. But the some of the stuff in there, like I don't mask a lot of stuff. Like I'm not doing a ton of that, but um it's the coloring that I just wanted to know all about. And
Hmm.
it's free unless you get the studio version, which is like $250, but the Premiere Pro subscription is like it's like $40 a month, and
Hmm.
so it's way more expensive. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if I can learn DaVinci, I'll get rid of Premiere, but I can't. I have so many projects that I work on a lot of long-term projects
Hmm.
where like it's taken a long time and I still have some of
Yeah.
those I'm trying to get done. So once that's done, maybe we'll throw it in the trash. But After Effects, really, no idea what that is. I
Yeah.
barely use it a lot for our graphic stuff with like D1 rejects. I'll do some of that stuff.
Mhm.
But anyways, last question for you here. If you could give one piece of advice to the next generation of creatives, what would it be?
Mhm. Ooh, I would honestly just say, like, treat everyone, no matter who it is. It could be the fast food worker you're ordering food from. It could be, like a school administrator, whoever it is. Treat everyone like they are your next potential client, and your next big break. I think that the world within creatives, the world within sports in general, like it's so small and everyone knows everyone, and everyone has so many different connections, whether that's through family, job, friends, like everything. And I think that connections have gotten me to where I am today, and I think that um that it's huge, it's so important. So if you can treat everyone with the most respect you can, and kindness that you can, I think that that'll definitely get you a lot further than, doesn't matter how good your gear is if you can't make connections with people, if you can't have conversations, um, and just be a person outside of that creative lens, like your, your work isn't going to mean anything. So, yeah, just, treat everyone with respect and kindness, and it'll definitely take you a long way.